Today, I'm going to share with you my top teleprompting tips coming at you as a content creator. Hi, Krista here with not two fingers. The secret to all of my perfectly delivered lines is a big TV screen and a big beam splitter mirror. Right behind me, I have two Samsung displays. One is just a standard setup TV, not mirror flipped in any way. And then right next to it, I have the same display modified so we can use it as a teleprompter. I have my camera set up over here with the display exposed so you can see what I'm seeing through the mirror. And what the camera's seeing, actually. Okay, so I'm going to test it out reading directly from this teleprompter glass so you can see how my eyes look, am I looking straight at the camera, and then also the display quality. Alright, let's get it going. Today, I'm going to reveal to you my top tips from my experience working with teleprompters all day long. The secret to all my perfectly delivered lines is having a big display and a big beam splitter mirror. I don't have the time or the patience to mess with badly written teleprompter software or figuring out how to get specialized input devices to work. I'd rather spend my time creating killer content. I simply write my script in Word or PowerPoint and then just plug it into the big screen and go. This also eliminates spending any time rehearsing over and over again, making sure the scroll rate is perfect. I'm sure you can relate. With a PC, I'm able to use a variety of different input devices, of my favorite being the presenter remote, or having my cameraman simply press page down. I've heard so many stories from customers who are frustrated trying to find compatible software with their device or their teleprompter, and it's just a big mess. Oh.
Hi.
Hi, I'm James, engineer and cameraman for Teleprompter Mirror. I freaking love this system because it makes my job as a video producer and editor so much easier. I can write a fast script for Krista, and she can deliver it smoothly without missing any key information. Back to you, Krista.
Great show! When using a presidential teleprompter, you want to make sure you adjust the height so your eyes meet up with the middle of the mirror. That way, you're able to read it comfortably off the glass. Now that we have it fully set up, let me just take you through each piece. We have the mount down here that's holding the display, and that's just two parts, the display and the tray. And then we have the presidential up here. So it has the beam splitter glass, 16 by 16 inches, and the stand for the presidential. Now I want to show you what I see. So I'm really close, so if you were recording through the mirror, you'd be getting a nice frame of your face, or you could back up if you need to and still see the text. But check out how big that text is. Whoa, that's so easy to read. Now I'm going to show you exactly how I deliver a speech, as well as how to record through the beam splitter mirror with flawless picture quality. I know you want more of this. I have more great information coming your way as a sequel to this video, so hit that subscribe button right now. Now, picture me on stage. Okay, so I've positioned it perfectly so I can see all of the text that's on the display. Today, I'm going to reveal to you my top tips from my experience working with teleprompters all day long. The secret to all of my perfectly delivered lines is to have a big display with a big beam splitter mirror. As you can see from my text here, when I made the video that you're watching right now, I improvise in addition to reading my lines. I don't have time or patience to mess with badly written teleprompter software or figuring out how to get specialized input devices to work. I have a lot of clients asking about multilingual teleprompters and whether or not certain software allows characters, which is a huge problem if you're using other languages. But with this setup, you can actually use any software you want. So you can write in your native language and just present it on the screen just as you see it on your laptop, which is amazing.
So you guys may be wondering, how the heck did I flip my screen in a mirror image? Let me tell you.
If you already have a TV that you just need to flip, we have a special device called the HDMI mirror box, and it flips any screen when you plug it into a laptop. All you have to do is plug in an HDMI cord and it flips it automatically. Super simple and easy to use. Now I'm going to show you how to set up your camera for recording through a presidential teleprompter. We include a special shroud to black out the backs so you get that amazing video quality straight through the glass. Alright, let's get it going. Today, I'm going to reveal to you my top tips from my experience working with teleprompters all day long. Let me take you through everything you're going to need for this setup. First, you need a large display. So you can get our display that's already pre-flipped that you can just plug right in with your HDMI cord to your laptop, or you can go with any TV that you already have that has HDMI input and simply use the HDMI mirror box. That flips any display without special software. Once you have the larger display, you'll need a presidential teleprompter, or for DIY projects, you can simply get the mirror. If you're just getting the mirror, you need to figure out what size you need. And I know this is a common problem. So to figure this out, I recommend setting up your monitor where you plan to be recording, and then grab any standard mirror that you already own and adjust it, set it up like you would the presidential, and then step back where you will be standing, right? And see how much screen space you really need. And then outline that on the mirror, and you'll be able to figure out exactly how big the mirror needs to be to see the entire screen. Once you have the presidential teleprompter, which is basically the glass, and a way to mount that glass so it's standing up, and the monitor, you need camera equipment if you're recording through the glass. So I recommend getting a tripod and a DSLR camera to put separately behind the mirror, along with a black shroud to black out all those extra reflections that are coming in from the room. This will give you that flawless display quality coming through, so your videos look amazing. They don't even look like you're actually recording through anything. It's like recording through thin air. Let me tell you a few other reasons why I love this setup. The monitor itself that we're using is high contrast, so it's easy to read the text on the screen, and the font size is completely adjustable because you can use any software, and pretty much every software allows you to make the font bigger, like Microsoft Word and PowerPoint. So that's just amazing. So you could be at any distance. So I love it also because you can be further away from your teleprompter and your camera, so you can get more range of motion. You can capture your body language and see you can make better videos from being further away. Another interesting feature about using a larger display with a larger mirror is that you can actually put your camera further away from the mirror and still be able to record through without capturing the edges of the teleprompter in your video. I know, I didn't think about that either until someone actually commented on that as a problem. User error. What? With this setup, you don't have to feel rushed. You can simply look further down on your teleprompter and read your next lines without feeling like everything's just going to disappear. So you can relax and read more comfortably using a larger display. You could even hook up a foot pedal if you wanted to still scroll on your teleprompter without using your hands. So you could be giving that nice body language and still scroll very discreetly. The main reason people are using teleprompters is to eliminate mistakes while recording, so you can make videos faster and easier without having to re-record and do double takes over and over again. But most teleprompters actually do the opposite for you. Because the screen's so small, you're so stressed out as you're reading that you're going to miss something, and it actually creates more mistakes than it would if you just memorized your lines. For that reason, I like the larger area so I don't feel rushed and I can slow down, make less mistakes, and be more precise with what I'm recording. By the way, if you are loving this video and the information that I'm including here, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the sequel where I go in depth with even more tips and tricks on teleprompting.
We're going to share with you some super exclusive insider tips about these outdoor teleprompters.
Exactly. So when you're outside and you're teleprompting, you fall into two main categories. Either one, you're recording through the mirror with a camera to make a video, or in scenario number two, you are delivering a live speech on a stage and you're outside.
So if you're stuck in scenario one and you're recording with your camera through the glass, but you need to make sure you're using a black shroud when you're teleprompting outside, so you can see your text crisp and you're not getting any weird reflections from the sun.
In scenario number two, when you're delivering that live speech, you want a mirror that doesn't need a shroud for two reasons. You want to be able to connect to that audience. So you want to be able to see through the mirror even when it's super sunny outside. And number two, you want that nice reflection so you can actually see what you're saying, so you can read your lines and deliver it flawlessly.
And you don't have a standard mirror in front of you like Trump or Obama. Trump?
It's Trump, I think.
And you can't even see him.
Yeah, they're using a standard mirror, and that creates this huge disconnect with the audience, which is terrible.
And right now we're out in the field at this park, and we have two teleprompters. We have the presidential with the standard teleprompter glass.
And we have another presidential, but with the outdoor teleprompter glass.
Woo! And so the outdoor teleprompter glass, as you saw in a previous video, it is super reflective, so you get that nice crisp text. Whoa, look how amazing that looks. You get to see the audience and the text at the same time. And on the right here we have the presidential with the nice clear glass. Super obvious, but nice. Ooh. Notice the text isn't quite as readable in an outdoor condition.
I mean, this one's way easier to read than that one.
I think so too.
Like that one, I just see the tree behind it. This one, I see my text. Hello there. I did not see you come in. I was too busy reading off this teleprompter. It does some pretty cool things.
Oh, hello there. I didn't see you come in. I was too busy reading off this teleprompter. It does some pretty cool things. For example, you can edit the text right on the page. It'll even save it for you. Alright, so after seeing these two out in the field, I realized this one's definitely more for recording through the mirror, where you can really put that shroud behind so you can see the text. That's my pro tip of the day.
And if you really want to be able to read your text while you're outside, then I would totally recommend this one because I get a clear picture. I can see exactly what I need to say. Alright guys, so I know you want more of this.
Yes, you should totally check out our website.
Like and subscribe our YouTube channel.
And don't forget to leave a comment.
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 And today I'm going to share with you my top best tricks that are quick and actionable to take your teleprompting to the next level. Okay, trick number 1 is actually counterintuitive. Use your script as you would cue cards instead of reading it all directly on the screen. You want to be able to quickly glance at your teleprompter, at the script, and then quickly just rattle off what you're going to say. So you don't actually want to sound like a robot. You want to just take those cue words and read them and then turn it into action. Trick number 2 is don't memorize your entire speech. That's what the teleprompter's for. You don't want to have the whole thing memorized because then there would be no point for the teleprompter. The whole use is actually in being able to write a script and then bang out that video super fast for your viewers. Next tip is don't simply read the text. You want to take that text and beautify it. And by beautify, I mean, imagine your audience. Imagine depicting your speech to your viewers. And you want to deliver it with a lot of enthusiasm. And that means if you're reading something that isn't written by you, or in general, reading too much from the teleprompter, you're losing sight of the feeling and the emotion that you should be putting more into the way you're presenting. Okay, so trick number 4 is get crazy. Get a little bit entertaining. You want to make your video pop. You want to go over enthusiastic because your over-the-top enthusiasm is actually right where you should be. And to your viewers, it doesn't actually seem that much over the top. They're expecting that. They crave it. They want you to whet their imagination with your speech, with your flow. Tip number 5 is to carefully set your background and lighting to accentuate what you're trying to say. A lot of people doing front-facing videos would typically have a white background or a solid color and some nice lights to cast a bit of a shadow in the back. And that's all well and good, but just make sure whatever setting you do that you're properly lit so the camera is picking up 100% of your video quality and there's no graininess to it. Tip number 6 is actually another huge one. You want to record in your best possible mode. So for instance, if you have the ability to do 4K, 60 frames per second, do it. Because you don't know what will become the norm in the next 5 years, or even a year from now, maybe even a few months from now. If it's not up to par, if you're recording in a lower quality than you actually could be, that's just setting yourself up to have to redo your footage in the future. And that's a problem. Tip number 7 is use multiple camera angles. So one thing I really love to do in my tutorial videos is have one camera on a gimbal, someone's running around with it, then you have one behind the teleprompter, so whenever you do glance at the teleprompter, you do have that direct eye contact when you're not using your motion camera. And then a good third angle to use is actually, if you're doing a tutorial where you're putting something together, you could have like a top-down or a more close-up static tripod camera. And that actually takes us to tip number 8. Make sure your audio is good to go. So as you're going through your setup, you have everything put together, and you just want to make sure, do a test run, just test that mic, check all your cameras, so that way you're not recording your entire video, and then suddenly at the end, once it's awesome, you presented it beautifully, but then you realize, oh my goodness, it wasn't even on, or it was not loud enough. So doing that test run is super valuable and saves a ton of time. And then tip number 9 is more for yourself and less about teleprompting per se, and it's learning how to control and convey your emotion and how to use body language. It's something you kind of develop over time, but there are tons of tutorials on how to effectively use body language to communicate with your audience. And you just want it to feel warm and conversational, so you're creating that nice bond with your audience. And that takes us to tip number 10. And this is key if you have a camera behind your teleprompter and let's say you're looking directly at that camera all the time. You want to move it sufficiently far away so they cannot tell your eyes are moving back and forth to read the teleprompter script. So, for instance, if you're up close and the actual text is wider than the lens of your camera as it's reflecting off the glass, you will see some eye movement. But if you get up to 8 feet away or a little bit further, that back and forth eye movement will not be noticeable anymore. Tip number 11 is do not use a robotic voice. Now, this may come back to like public speaking and all those classes you took in high school, maybe college, where you had to speak in public and maybe you had cue cards, maybe you didn't have a teleprompter, but you just gotta shake it up and try to relax, because that's what gets you out of that robotic tone. And what also helps that is not reading word for word on the script like we said before. You want to add a tonality. You want to think of your voice like a piano, where you're playing notes and you're singing to your audience, because that's what's going to keep them engaged and continuing to focus on you. Tip number 12 is actually more on you and less on the teleprompting again. And that's create your personal brand and identity. You want to use your clothing, your makeup, your whole body to communicate a certain flow for your audience. For instance, if you're talking about teleprompter techniques, maybe you want something slightly casual but nice so you can feel comfortable and engaging the audience while they're sitting at home watching your YouTube video. But if you're at a public speaking event, maybe you would want to wear something more formal like a suit or a dress, something appropriate for your video that enhances the entire effect. And number 14, tip pro for you, is you want to choose the right teleprompter for you. Right here, I actually have set up a presidential teleprompter, so there's no camera directly on the back for demo purposes. But if I were to use a teleprompter to make videos, like this video right now, where the camera's not moving, I would go for a more executive teleprompter where it's has the camera on the back and a nice shroud, so you're getting that optimal video quality coming through the teleprompter. But if you're doing a live speech and there's actually no video recording going on, you could use the presidential, and that's perfect. Pro tip number 15, and the last one I'll leave you with, is actually the next evolution of teleprompting, which is not actually a teleprompter at all. You've seen the ring lights out there. Now this is the next big thing.
So we've actually compiled this. We have the ring light, and we've put the beam splitter glass in front of it. And all you have to do at this point is attach a shroud and put the camera behind the mirror. So what this does for you actually is you could go live, or if you don't have a script, you could just roll with it, but you still get that instant feedback. The beam splitter mirror allows you to see yourself and record through it at the same time, so you can maintain that amazing eye contact through the mirror. But you can see yourself at the same time. So if you're live or you want to do it in one take and you don't realize the small things right away, like how you hold yourself, or if you forget to smile, you are instantly reminded when you look at the ring light. So this is Krista from Teleprompter Mirror, leaving you with those tips that you can put into action right away. If you have any questions or any additional tips to add, please leave a comment below, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for some future updates. Now that I have you right here, hit that subscribe button because you are going to want to see this. I have a series of videos dedicated to creating fast videos using exclusive techniques no one else is using. I'm gonna get out my toys, my high-tech toys. When you're creating a video, you need some exclusive content, things that are difficult to get on camera. Bring along a photo booth to all of your adventures. This will allow you to connect with your audience. For instance, if you have a product that you're trying to sell, you could set up a photo booth and set that product on the table for people to take pictures with. Or if you're doing event photography and videography, this is just a really interesting tool to get extra pictures to throw in to your video. I want to talk about setting up your studio space. Now this is for indoor videography. First things first, you need an amazing backdrop, something that really makes you pop. And for my videos, I'm using a black background, but let's take a look around this studio space. This is the only area that has a black background. The rest of the room is white, and that'll allow for making the video brighter, to enhance that lighting, to just make everything about your video look better. For my videos, I'm using a black background, which is really awesome for me because I tend to wear things that aren't black. And I want the focus to be on me. Other popular backgrounds include the standard white background. I also really love the textured wood backgrounds and slate, something that looks really industrial. You want to set yourself apart from others doing videos on YouTube or other avenues. Personally, I really love a black backdrop. Once you have an amazing backdrop, you want to control the rest of the room. You can add lighting in a variety of ways. One of the most popular on YouTube is using daylight and using that to your advantage. But I'm here to tell you that's not the only way to go. So I'm using halo teleprompters to enhance the lighting of my set, as well as umbrellas with lighting to cast the perfect glow on this particular set. And you can use a variety of other lighting tools to get really nice effects for your video. But the most important thing about lighting is that you want to make sure you have enough of it so your video quality is not grainy.
It's getting dark. The lights are coming out.
Of course, depending on what your recording device is, this can be more of an issue, but stay tuned for more on that later. I'm making a sequel to this video detailing different recording devices, focusing more on indoor videography and low light situations. If you want to check out that video, I'm leaving a card up there for you right now, so check it out, or wait until the end. Okay, so we have this product.
an outdoor teleprompter mirror. But my conflict was how to capture footage of that product to depict like why you would want to buy it.
Oh, hello there. I didn't see you come in. I was too busy reading off this teleprompter.
I hit the road. I chose a day to go outside because of course it's outdoor teleprompting. That's something you can't shoot indoors. Like, hello. So I strapped on my GoPro and I hit the road to my local botanical gardens so I could get some stellar footage. And I did wait for an overcast day so the pictures and videos that I took would look good.
It does some pretty cool things. For example, you can edit the text right on the page.
This was in my early days, the early days of my acting career. By the way, here's a little golden nugget I bet you've never heard of before. Mute all of your devices that are in the room and when you're recording. I can't tell you how many times that I've been interrupted during a video by phone calls, little blips on the laptop. Just mute it and you will save yourself a lot of time. Once we had this experience with the outdoor teleprompting and having one other person in our video, we realized, whoa, videos really pop when there's more than one person in the shot. So that's my next tip for you right now. Find someone else to star in the video with you so you can have that awesome dynamic. And it's not just you trying to be funny on camera, which I'm pretty good at, but not everyone is. When you have someone else in the video with you, it's so much easier and more natural to just play off of what they're saying so you can just spice up the feel and the energy of your video like almost instantaneously. The other person in the room that you need to be thinking about when you're creating a video is your cameraman. They are there for one purpose, to make you look good. So you need someone that's passionate. They're not just recording it, setting it down, forgetting it, like sucking on their cold brew coffee while they're recording you. They have your best interest. They want to make your video epic, right? So you need to find someone super passionate with a renegade stance that is listening to what you're saying and going in when you're trying to make a bold point about something specific, and then backing back up when you're trying to be more general. You know, you want to add emotion to your video, and you can only get that if you have a really fantastic camera person to help you out. By the way, special shout out to my cameraman. He is the inspiration for these videos. In fact, he helps me with my lines, and I would not get through any video without him. You want your cameraman or camerawoman to be there to help you take it to the next level. Perhaps you've said a line, and they take that moment to pause, so you can deliver it again with more emotion and more feeling to just make it amazing. We have our setup, we have our cameraman. Now you need to focus on the main person in the video, and that's you. You want to practice how to sound natural. You want to become the actor or the actress, because there's nothing more weird and like boring than just listening to someone reading off their teleprompter. Get together the technical details on how to research your character before you just dress up like them and fly in the wind. You want to take your experience to the next level by studying acting. Listen to Roger Love or other people that talk about how you're projecting your voice, because this is super critical. You want to slow the F down. That's one thing I'm still working on in my videos, is just taking one step back and slowing down. Let me tell you a story. So back in college, I was doing these math conferences where I would take my research and then I'd go present them in front of tons of people. And I was so nervous that I was just speeding through it. But then my math professor actually gave me this great idea. He said, just slow the F down, because what sounds unnatural to you as you're slowing down, that actually sounds way more natural to the viewer. It doesn't seem weird to people when you slow down. In fact, if you take it about a half a step down, that actually sounds the most natural. You could even go slow motion and just see what kind of effect that brings. Add some extra pauses. Use the fluctuation in tonality in your voice to highlight certain words to give it a more robust, complete feeling. You want to think of your voice like you think of music, and that is, you want to sing a song to your audience. You want to vary up your tone. There's nothing more boring than someone hitting that same note over and over again. That doesn't make a good music video, and it doesn't make a good regular video either. So you want to pull that in. Use the tone. Use all of the vocal range that you have to make your videos better. Make them more interesting. And then, once you've mastered that a little bit, you can start to throw in your personality and your humor to make it truly a personalized experience for your viewers. That's weird, but when you then watch what you just made on a video, you're like, wow, I look fantastic. Along with your voice, you want to be using body language and eye contact to complete that picture of yourself on video. You want to use these sweeping motions. Use the full frame of your shot to move around. You don't want to be constricted in this little box tank where you're not moving outside of it because you're afraid to move. This is something that just comes with experience and maybe watching a few videos on how to use your body to communicate different things. To go along with body language, you want to make sure your eye contact is there. If you're reading a teleprompter or you're reading some lines and you're not looking into the camera, people are going to feel that disconnect. So you really want to keep that eye contact going most of the time in your video, so that way your audience actually feels like they're talking to you. They're having a one-on-one conversation with you right now. There's nothing more powerful than that. Take it to the ultimate level by getting kind of crazy. You want to take it over the top. You want to do overkill. You want to go hardcore. You just gotta get crazy. You gotta go LED lights, Christmas gear, just throw everything out there to the wind and just go for it. Do everything possible to attract every kind of viewer. Cue lightsaber. Watcha! Welcome to the dark side. Let your personality shine in your videos by just going out and being crazy, doing whatever you need to do to get more views and to keep people interested in what you're doing. And Chrome has this super special extension called Mirror This. And all you do is click that button and it flips any website so you can read it off the reflection. You have a lot of great things to say, right? Now you just need to record them in a way that people want to keep watching. Let's be real now, it's a competition. More and more people are getting to the pro level. Other YouTubers are getting more and more sophisticated with their video techniques and their energy. You need to compete by using your energy and taking it over the top. Just go all out with it. Get as extreme. Take it to the limit. Take it to your utmost limit. Go a little bit out of your comfort zone on every video. Take it over the top by doing some crazy dance moves or using some amazing props to elevate your mood in the video. Let me show you some of my favorite props. My rainbow tutu. Now, this was good for a variety of reasons, but initially I got this for myself to wear in videos, to take the colors over the top, just to make it more vibrant and amazing, and it's just really cool, and it lights up. Now, this one's really good, especially if you're a Star Wars fan. In your videos, you could make Star Wars references, you could be on the light side or the dark side. You can have a battle. Follow me to the dark side. I have cookies. You don't have to be at a rave to use glow toys in your video. Everyone knows to build your audience on YouTube, you need to be funny. You need to pull in that comedic element to your videos so you're entertaining, so you're fun to watch. But most people think funny is just an on-off switch where you're telling a joke, or either you're funny or you're not. But that's just simply not true. In order to add humor to your videos, you need to know what humor is. Body movement is super funny. Now, have you ever seen those fail videos or where people are dancing around, being crazy on camera, being super outrageous with your body language? Heck yeah, that's funny and it's intentional. Use it in your videos right now. And now for some example. Whoosh. You could go like 1980s, like disco, disco fever. I would like to be disco fever. Another thing when you're doing body movement is that you want to kind of stretch out your movement. So you want to become part of the entire frame in your camera right now. So you might want to shift from side to side. Just use the entire space to encapsulate your body movement and make it super funny. Clothing is another powerful tool in your toolbox to add some comedy to your video. For example, I went to Cedar Point with a dog shirt with laser beam eyes. Literally, a girl crumpled to the ground. And that brings me to my next form of humor. Go into storyteller mode and be concise. Tell your story with the least amount of words and make it funny. Jazz up your stories with hilarious words like crumpled, zucchini, or moist. Suggestive humor is extremely powerful in video creation because you're alluding to something, that it might be related to something else that you're not saying out loud. Juvenile comedy is one of my favorites. Have you ever seen American Pie? Hello! Every scene in that movie revolves around pranks, name calling, and just being silly. It harkens to the immaturity in each of us. And I know most of you love it. Okay guys, in the next few days, I'm releasing a sequel to this video going into more detail on these techniques. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss it. The power of the insult. Okay. Biting humor is another really interesting effect you can incorporate in your video. Now, you may or may not want to use this particular form of humor because, I don't know, people are sensitive on YouTube and they'll definitely jump all over it, but if you can somehow insult someone in your video and make it funny, like it's so biting, like it's so obviously like not really an insult, but it is, that you just laugh, use that. Think rap battles of time. The power of awkwardness. That's why dating shows exist. Because first dates are freaking awkward. I use that all the time in my videos. Stand-up comedy is another great one. So you can straight up tell jokes in your video and it'll be awesome, I'm sure. But you don't want to use that exclusively. You need a handbag of comedy tricks so you can be throwing it at the camera at all angles in different ways so you're not using the same exact technique to be funny every time. There is a power in the unexpected. Think magic show, where you're looking at something and then something else crazy happens. There is a huge power in leading your audience to believe one thing and then doing something completely different at the end. Sound effects are key to creating comedic moments. And music. You also want to be thinking about music as a sound effect. Don't just put music into your video for the sake of having background music. You want to pick out like several different songs to put in your video, spicing it up, using it in shorter intervals to convey a deeper dramatic effect. Use workout scenes in your video to convey different emotions like motivation, confidence, all the way to downright hilarious. Just like you would use dance in a video. Okay guys, I know you want more of this. Hit that subscribe button right now for the subscriber only content that I will be sending your way in the next video. Go to telepromptermirror.com for my complete and ultimate guide on video content creation. Okay guys, I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below with any questions you have and I will be there to answer them right away. By the way, if you want to check out our products, i.e. get this display, the presidential, executive, anything that I've shown you in this video, go to our website, telepromptermirror.com. By the way, I'm Krista, adventure videographer and gadget guru. And I'm Audi 5000. But should I do that? Till next time.